Hi, I'm Mark and welcome to the channel. And today I'm going to show you how to make this incredible star garland. I freaking love it. I think it's so cool. Yeah, so let's just get right into it. I'm going to start out by showing you all the supplies you'll need for the project. I got this at Michael's. It's called wired hemp, and it's just a thicker gauge wire that is then wrapped in hemp. And I got these paper covered floral wires that are much thinner, and that's going to be to attach the stars to, and then these will wrap around the thicker wire, and that's how you'll attach them. You're going to have cardstock. You're going to get cardstock in whatever you want. I chose to do sparkly because I wanted them to be glittery stars. You'll have to use cardstock. You can't use plain scrapbook paper for the way I'm going to show you to make these. You need something a little stronger. This is going to come in really handy for you, just cutting things out and measuring things. So any kind of invisible ruler, or if you don't have one like this, you can use just a regular ruler as well. You'll need your star templates, utility knife. You'll need a pencil. I wanted my stars to have different sizes of glitter, and like chunky glitter, fine glitter. So I got 2 other canisters of just different types of glitter that I'm going to glue on after I make them, just using tacky glue, just a craft glue. You could use Elmer's, whatever you have on hand. And some wire snips. If you have them, are a lot easier to cut the wire with than craft scissors. So if you don't have these, investing in a pair is going to be really handy for all your crafts. So I'm going to show you how to make a star template. You're going to start with a square, however big you want it. And then you're going to fold it. Start with this, like a sailboat. You're going to take this point and bring it up to the center. And you're going to crease this. Get a sharp point there. Then you open that back up. Then you take this long side and bring it towards, if you can see, I'll draw it so you can see it here too. This will maybe make it easier. So that crease line that you just made, folding this up here, right, I just drew it in there. You're going to take this long edge, fold this into that, and you want to keep it straight along that fold. And then you're just going to press there because you're just marking this. You don't have to fold this all the way down. You just need to know where this little line is. You're going to take this point again, keeping your point sharp at the bottom here. Only this time you're bringing it up to that line that you just creased instead of all the way up here. Right? Then you crease this. Then you take this long side again, and you're going to bring this, you're going to keep this point sharp, and you're going to bring this edge up to meet this edge. Just like that. So then you have this shape, right? It's that line, and we want to fold this over, keep that pointed, keep this all even, and crease that. Then I flip it over because you need, see this point here where everything kind of intersects? This is where you're going to draw your line here. You don't have to draw it, you can just cut it. If you want a chunky star, you're gonna have your line up here and have it be less of an extreme angle, and that'll give you more of a puffy, like chubby star. If you want it to be, have more slender points, you're gonna come further down, right? So I'm just gonna draw this. You don't have to draw these lines. This is just so you can see it. So see that point there. And then this line, this is what I'm going to cut on. If your utility knife down and slice that away, then you open it up, and there is your star. So after you have decided on what size stars you want, I decided to do 3 different sizes, small, medium, and large, to give some variety and texture and shape to the garland. So what you're going to want to do is trace all your different size stars, and you're going to need a front and back for each one. And I started off with doing 30 stars, which I thought would be pretty good. It would allow me 10 stars for every foot of the 3-foot garland that I'm making. And we'll see if that's what I end up using. I'll let you know at the end exactly how many stars I used. And then as I went through, I did number them, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, so that I knew how many I had going, because again, you need 2 for each one. After you have traced all your stars out and numbered them accordingly, I found the easiest way to get them to have a they're not going to be symmetrical if you cut them by hand, no matter how accurate your measurement was, because you're going to cut the template out, and then you're going to trace that, and then you're going to cut that out. So there's 3 chances there for it to get skewed. So the best trick that I found, so that you can keep a front and a back that they'll fit together the best, is to cut out one side of your star, then take that, flip it right side up over your other piece that you have traced, over your other half that you've traced, and use that as your template. That is my little helpful hint for you to get a nice front and back that match up. That's going to be the best way to do that. And then what I do to make sure you line them up correctly at the end is I draw a little arrow, and that will denote what, see, I already spun it. Yeah. That will let you know which side goes up, right? So you can keep it straight after you go through the next step, drawing your fold lines on, folding it. You'll know that that is the top and that is the top. So that's my hint to you. Okay, now for the next step, I find it easier to draw these lines instead of just trying to eyeball it. So what you're doing is going from point to inner point. You see that? Point to point. And you do that all the way around, and then you fold along these lines. And I find it easy to fold them all in the same direction at first, and then some of them you'll bend the opposite way. So you bent all of the lines to the inside first, right? Then on every point of the star, you're going to bend on that same line, but you're going to crease it to the outside, because you want that peak, you want this to pop up and this part to go down. You see how that gives it that dimension? And that's how you do it. So you're just going to do that a lot. But honestly, it's kind of fun. And if you have a friend doing this with you, that's even more fun. Or put on a Christmas movie, or your favorite Christmas album. Or if my mom is doing this project with me, because we've made these before in past years, we just kind of sit there and maybe we put something on in the background and we talk about stuff and talk about our plans for Christmas, all that stuff. So it's just really fun. It's all about what's, surrounding the activity too, not just the activity itself, I think, that really makes it fun and makes you remember it. So the next step is going to be to bend the wire to attach to the star. I just made this sort of little thing because it's going to glue in there. And then you're going to be able to put the other one on, right? And that's going to work out really well. So what I'm doing to attach them, I'm taking my floral wire, taking my wire clippers, my pliers, bending a circle in it, just wrapping it around, doing a circle. And then I'm bending this up and around to make kind of a little shepherd's crook, or, little bend in it. This part is going to allow me to glue it right here. And then that just gives me the right sort of stem to glue it onto. Glue the wire on the inside. Little hot glue. Stick it in the middle. What I'm going to do is put a little dab there as well to keep it from shifting around. Okay, and now I think the easiest way to glue these together is to run a bead of hot glue along all the edges, and then you sort of match them up kind of flat and then puff them out again. So I'm kind of pressing them together flat, and then I can sort of pop it open again. See? Now that, and I go back and peel off the excess glue. Now, like I said, sometimes they don't match up perfectly, right? So you're gonna have some edges that maybe, let me see if I can find a better one to show you here. Like on this one, how the edges don't quite match up. So there's 3 things you can do. You could do a tinsel pipe cleaner and glue those around. That would give it a very vintage look. You can take your scissors and come in and trim, or what I'm gonna do is do glue and then add some glitter to cover up those edges. Yeah, and you can see like this side too, that one looks great. So your 4th option is to put that side facing the back. I'm gonna do the glitter because I want the extra texture and different look of the different glitters. So you can see I did gold and silver, but let me show you how I'm gonna do the glitter to keep it as mess-free as glitter can be, all right? I got 2 paper plates, and I kind of do like the breadcrumb method, I call it. If you've ever, breaded chicken or zucchini, we always do fried zucchini in the summer since I've been a kid. You know what that means, right? You gotta use your glue, or that would be, in the case of a fried chicken or fried zucchini, that would be your milk and egg wash, right? So I'm going to do that on a plate. I'm going to keep 1 plate that is just glue, and then we're going to do, should I have gotten 3 plates, or did I get 3? I did get 3 plates. And then I'm going to have a plate for my gold glitter and my silver glitter, which is more of this large holographic kind of glitter. And I thought the light would bounce off that in a really, really fun way. Oh, that's pretty. Oh my, okay. And then I have my paintbrush that is specifically for glue. And I like to do it this way so I can control it a little bit better. And you just paint on the edges that you want to do the glitter. Pretty self-explanatory, but just in case somebody doesn't know how to do this, because if you've never been taught, you wouldn't know. Then I come in here, you can use your fingers since you're using the brush to put the glue on, and just sprinkle that on. So there it is with all of the edges done. It's subtle, but I think it's a really cool difference. And here is the silver glitter, and you can see how the light really just bounces off of that. So I do recommend using at least 1 holographic glitter or cardstock in your garland, because it really bounces the light in a great way, especially when those little Christmas lights hit it. So, all right, I'm going to finish up the other stars that I'm going to do this to, and then I'll be right back. Okay, now we have all of our stars, which admittedly look beautiful just in a pile on your table, I have to say. I love it. And then I took my hemp wrapped wire from Michael's and I cut a length of it, and then I made a little loop at each end, because that is where, you can kind of put a fake Christmas tree branch through that, or if you're going to hang it, on a mantle or something, you can put that on your little hook or nail or whatever you're going to hang it on. And how I'm going to do this, I want it to look like, a swooping cascade of stars, almost like, kind of the fairy godmother waved her magic wand around the tree, and like all these stars are kind of dusted around it. So I'm gonna start just wrapping these around the wire and just taking my floral wire, wrapping it around. I cut off the excess. Do one of these small ones, and I just kind of want to layer them, you know, and get like a nice grouping going. So, okay, and then I think we need a big one to kind of be behind them a little bit, like that. See? Right, and obviously they're wire. You can bend these into whatever kind of shape and position you want after the fact, but I just want to get it going here. So you're just going to keep building it, and you want to think, if you're using different colors, you want to think about where you want to pop that other color in. You know, I'm going to try not to have all, you know, several of the stars of the same size together right next to each other. You know, you want a variety of sizes and shapes and finishes if you use the different styles of glitter and whatnot. Just gonna keep adding our stars, and you're just taking that floral wire and wrapping it around your thicker wire, and then that is thickening the wire up to make it pretty sturdy, you know, but still very bendable for all your decorating needs. And here is the finished garland. I can barely fit it in the frame, but you can see it here. And it is about 46 inches long from one loop to the next. But you can see the stars pretty much go to the ends of the loops too. So, and I used 34 stars total for a garland that is almost 4 feet long. So not quite 10 stars per foot. But that's kind of a good rule to go by, because if you do more smaller stars than larger stars, you might need a few more. And if you do more larger stars than smaller stars, you might need a few less. So I think that's a pretty good number to shoot for when you make this. And if you need to make a couple extras as you're going along, that's no problem. And here's what the Star Garland looks like when you actually put it on a tree. I made another star for the top, and you can see I put the tinsel around that one, a tinsel pipe cleaner. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can follow along for all of the Christmas crafts I'm going to be doing this holiday season. And until the next one, happy making.